I think we've been beating around the bush, and I think it's time to attack it head on. The stomp heard around the world. The big hot topic, first take today. Everyone today talking about the stomp heard around the world. In case you didn't watch the game and you just didn't look at any sports media today, similar to the end of game one, Domantas Sabonis and Draymond Green got tied up. And you might be wondering, oh, why is Green suspended? Well, Domantas kind of got shoved down. And on the way down, looked like he did grab Draymond Green's leg. I think it's an inverted contact. We'll let you have your word on it, Rem, obviously. But, he's kind of leaning to the side, kind of feeling this thing coming up. I think it was an inverted contact, kind of grabbed his leg. Then Draymond proceeds to curb stomp him through the court. No, but he did step on him really hard. I mean, it's his whole weight. He's a big guy. So he did step on him. It looked like a stomp on his chest, his rib area, and then ran off the court. Of course, the refs call, they stopped the play. Sabonis did receive a tech for grabbing Draymond's leg. So, yes, the refs did recognize it was not a basketball play. But Draymond Green did receive a flagrant 2 foul for almost killing Domantas Sabonis. And he has received a suspension, and it is based off of his unsportsmanlike conduct. We've seen Draymond throughout the playoffs, kicking guys in not great areas. He's gotten in scuffles before. He literally was yelling expletives at the crowd during that time when they're deciding that, yelling at people. So he's definitely not helping the situation. The league still has an image to uphold in the playoffs, which is their most time being seen. This is one of the most profiled series out of them all. Rem, what do you think? People are saying, Draymond, people are coming to Draymond's defense. He had nowhere to step, blah, blah, blah. I personally, after looking at video footage, we've done some big, deep dives. It was more than just a video saw. There were some other videos of people's legs getting grabbed, including Draymond grabbing people's legs and them finding some way, these world-class athletes finding a way to not step and pretty much stomp on a guy's chest. Do you think the stomp was intentional or not? Could it have been avoided or not?
So the whole thing is a crazy play. It happens very quickly. It's impossible to know exactly what was happening, what these guys' intentions were, but to me, it looks like the whole thing is an accident, honestly. You mentioned Sabonis, the contact looks inadvertent. And he said, too, in an interview afterwards, he was trying to protect himself. He fell earlier in the game, got hit in the face. That's exactly what he's doing with his arms. He's going to cover up his face. Draymond's leg is just kind of coming through at the same time, gets caught while Sabonis is basically dabbing on the floor. Draymond's leg comes up mid-dab, gets caught. And I think Draymond thinks that Sabonis is trying to grab him and goes to shake Sabonis off, kind of like forcefully kick him away. And Sabonis is not grabbing him. So it's like lifting the glass that you think is full, but it's actually empty. Draymond's leg goes way harder than he thinks it actually does, kicks Sabonis in the ribs. Sabonis, he has the x-rays. I think he's going to be okay. Looked like he milked it a little bit afterwards as well, too. Definitely laid there a couple extra seconds longer. But the big thing, like you said, is Draymond, I think extending the situation with the fans is the thing that I think really cost him here. It just that combined with the history, like you can stomp Sabonis. It can happen on the basketball court. You can go to the sideline and that can be the end of it. Or you can do what he did and continue to extend the situation and just act like the league is something's going to happen. You're definitely going to get thrown out of the game. And it's just, you're at the risk of this stuff. You can't put yourself at risk of this stuff, especially when your team is down 2-0, returning home to play a game where they could go down 3-0. And the last 3 seasons, your team without you is 27-28. They're below 500 team. When you're not on the court, Steph, his numbers are at a career low. So Draymond, he's got to keep a cool head through the entire situation. But the whole thing to me just looked kind of like a crazy accident.
It was wild. While I do think, Draymond, there may have been some truth to him not being able to avoid Domantas. I do think there was a little extra. You can see his expression when he steps on Sabonis. There was a little extra sauce in it. I think most people could look. It was a little bit of intention. Come on. There could have been zero intention in him not at all apologizing to Sabonis. Most sports they'll check on the guy, even if they're fighting. Will go, shake his hand, maybe apologize. And I think Sabonis, he said there's no animosity, stuff like that. I think if Draymond Green had really gone up and, said something, Sabonis probably might have apologized too. I think they would have figured it out there on the court, just like most other, you look at other sports, soccer, crazy stuff like this happens quite frequently, actually. So I think they could have figured it out, but that Draymond Green went the extra mile, was extra mad about it. And, it was kind of funny going into the press conference and hearing Curry and Clay getting all mad about someone yanking a player's leg when last year against Memphis, Jordan Poole almost ripped out John Morant's leg, totally turning the playoffs. I'm just saying, it's funny how we suddenly start defending players' health when it's on our team. That's all I'm saying. Just a little note. That's been a horse that I've been on, some stock I've been, holding on to, depreciating in value, obviously, but I just wanted to wheel that one out there that, of course we don't want anyone to be injured, but I think like you mentioned that Green went the extra mile, was defiant about it, not at all talking on the court, that the league was like, okay, we gotta stop him.